who could possibly top that in terms of net points? You have your Patriots. Had a pretty good year last year in terms of net points.
Yes, and I must say, it was surprising to me that they ended up this high in net points. I didn't see this coming in the beginning of the year.
I don't think many people did,
No.
But again, your GM coach, one Bill Belichick. Now, there's a whole thing going on with the mystery of the offensive coordinator. There is none. So we have Matt Groh, Director of Player Personnel, listed for that position. And Joe Judge, who you know very well, and Matt Patricia, who I'm sure you know also very well, are listed in a co-situation as offensive coordinators, but no specific offensive coordinator listed. None listed for the defensive coordinator either. Special teams is Cameron Accord, listed as the special teams coordinator. And then we have, and I didn't mean to skip over, Mac Jones. How could I skip over Mac and cheese?
Now I have a little correction for you. And
let's do it.
When we start talking about Bill Belichick, you'll understand kind of what's going on here. Bill Belichick is almost a one-man band. And Bill Belichick came up on the defensive side of the ball. Hence, having a defensive coordinator is probably not ever going to happen on this team. However, they do have an offensive coordinator. And his name is Joe Judge. And you may remember him as being the head coach of the Giants, since fired. But let me start from the top here. The general manager is Bill Belichick. However, his right-hand man is Matt Groh, who holds the title of Director of Player Personnel. Now, not many teams allow the head coach to be the GM and the head coach. In fact, it's very difficult. And I know there's been a lot of head coaches who probably should have just stayed head coaches and not taken on the responsibility of being GMs and have pretty much have failed careers because of it. Belichick is the exception to that rule. Now, that being said, his de facto GM or his de facto assistant GM, de facto, that's a hard word to say. Assistant GM is Matt Groh. Matt Groh has spent his entire professional career with New England. Since 2011, he's been a scout, a scouting director, and now the director of player personnel. So GM Bill Belichick is also head coach Bill Belichick, widely considered one of the greatest coaches in NFL history. Let's face it. He started his coaching career as an assistant with the old Baltimore Colts back in 1975. How crazy is that? He was a special teams. Talk about a guy who worked his way up, okay? Not only to the top, but also to the top of the profession. He was a special teams coach and a defensive assistant. He was a defensive position coach. All three of those titles he held with the Lions and the Broncos and the Giants before being promoted to defensive coordinator of the Giants in 1995. He held the head coaching job with the Browns from 1991 to 1995. He was DB coach with the Patriots in 1996, defensive coordinator with the Jets in 1997 to 99. Then he became the head coach of the Patriots. From 2000, he's got 6 Super Bowl champions as a head coach and 2 more as an assistant / coordinator. Oh, by the way, he's got a yacht, and his yacht is called 8 Rings. That's the name of his boat, 8 Rings. Now, the offensive coordinator is Joe Judge. He was an offensive assistant and special teams coach with the Patriots from 2012 to 2019. With a pat on the back and a little push from Bill Belichick, he got hired as the Giants head coach from 2020 to 2021 and basically fell on his face. When he got fired, Belichick took him back and made him his offensive coordinator. That's pretty much how that goes.
All right. All right. So let's see what they've done here with the roster resets. I see an ad there.
Here's a nice addition. Devontae Parker. Decent wide receiver. Got him from the Dolphins. Now that Tyreek Hill's with the Dolphins, there's no room for Devontae Parker. He's still got some juice left. So he comes up to the Patriots. He will help them. He will help Mac Jones. Good possession receiver. Believe it or not, Malcolm Butler comes back.
Hard to believe.
They must have kissed and made up. Or either that or Malcolm Butler burned them pictures he had. I don't know. I don't know what's going on there. Offensive tackle Trent Brown, still got some juice, still a top guy at his position. Big losses. J.C. Jackson, cornerback, big loss. Shaq Mason, mainstay offensive lineman, offensive guard, big loss. Kyle Van Noy, pretty big loss at linebacker, but not huge. He's kind of on the downside of his career, but still can play. So those losses are somewhat major. As far as draft picks, who did they get in the first round? Cole Strange. And this was a strange first-round pick, even for the Patriots. But I can see what Belichick has on his mind. Cole Strange, after I did a little research, turned out to be one of the top offensive guards in this draft. So Belichick just went out and grabbed him. You know, got a wide receiver also in the second round, Tyquan Thornton, pretty good player for Baylor, who had a nice passing game. I don't know these other guys too well. Yeah.
Well, they picked up two cornerbacks there in the third and the fourth round, so trying to shore up that defense a little bit more.
Yeah, tighten up that defense a little bit. I don't know that maybe they should have made some more picks or on the offensive side, but because Shaq Mason's going to be missed.
And they picked up a running back also, Pierre Strong Jr.
South Dakota State. I don't know about him. But, you know, late round running backs have a tendency to pop up after camp too, kind of like those late round offensive linemen.
Yeah.
You know?
All right. Well, he has enough coaches and stuff to help him get better.
Absolutely.
Shoot, I would hate to add up all of the coaching experience years on that team. Well over 100 years probably.
Oh man, it's crazy.
Because they had 47 listed for Belichick. So that's half right. You got half of it right there.
Right there. Halfway 200.